All right, so let me set the scene for you. My son, 16, good kid, sharp, funny, just getting that itch for his own money. You know, I want to buy pizza for a girl without asking dad for a 20-inch age. I was proud as hell when he landed his first real job bussing tables at the local Greasy Spoon. Not glamorous work, but honest. He'd come home wiped out, but with this spark in his eye, rattling off stories about the regulars, showing me the tips he made, just so damn proud. The diner, bit of a time capsule, still paid every 2 weeks by paper check, if you can believe that. He didn't have a bank account yet, so for now, the checks were mailed to our house. First couple came right on schedule. He'd hold those checks up like gold medals, then we'd hit the bank. Together, me co-signing, him tucking the cash into a shoebox in his closet, his own little treasure chest. But then, third payday rolls around, no check. No big deal. We figure, mail runs slow. Sometimes. But days tick by, and nothing. By the end of the week, he's asking every time I walk in the door, "Dad, did my check come?" And he's trying to hide it, but he's worried. I told him not to. Sweat it. I'd call the diner, sort it out. Manager there, is an old school, straight shooter, but even he sounds a little suspicious this time. Swears he mailed it. Offers to cancel and reissue. So we wait. Another 2 weeks, another check supposed to arrive, and now both are missing. My son's starting to get that look, the one you get the first time the world guts you for doing everything. Right. And let me tell you, that broke me. This wasn't about $50 anymore. It was about the principle, his pride, his effort. So my cop instincts kick in. This doesn't feel like a mail. Mix up. I take a day off, park myself in the living room, coffee in hand, eyes glued to the mailbox out front. Our box is bolted right by the door, no mistaking it. Mailman comes, drops the letters. And, what do you know, there's a diner envelope right on top. I decide to wait it out, see what happens. My prime suspect? The next door neighbor, let's call her the Baroness. She's always got something to say about our lawn or my kid's basketball hoop. Dresses like she's attending a hostile takeover, even just checking the mail. Sure enough, about an hour later, she strolls out, gray suit, brisk steps, straight for her box, then 2 steps over to ours. She reaches right in, grabs our stack, rifles through, pockets the envelope, and dumps the rest back like it's nothing. I'm frozen for a second, watching her literally steal from my porch, right in broad daylight. So, I stand up, swing the door open, still in my work clothes, badge on my belt. She freezes. Gives me a look like I'm the inconvenience. I just ask, find anything interesting in there? She holds up the check, as if it's her right. I'll be taking this. Thank you very much. Dripping with the kind of snark you can only perfect from a lifetime of never being told no. Then she says, "We can't have your kind getting handouts in this neighborhood." The word you just hangs. There, heavy, ugly. She says she's protecting the community, doing everyone a favor. Now, let me tell you, my first instinct was to lose it, but the cop in me took over. I tell her what she's holding is my son's paycheck, and what she just did is a federal crime. I ask her to hand over the check, and any others she's taken. She just laughs, tries to walk away, says I'm running a scam. That's when I tell her I'm a police officer, and that I'm placing her under citizen's arrest for mail theft. She laughs harder, accuses me of impersonating a cop, pulls out her phone and calls 911. Right there on my porch, holding my son's stolen check, telling the operator she's being harassed by a dangerous man impersonating a police officer. So I call dispatch myself, let them know what's really going on. Sirens approach. Out come the responding officers. One's a buddy, Dave, the other's a newer officer, Peterson. Baroness, her real name's Carol, let's just say that, puts on the performance of her life, painting herself as the brave neighbor who caught a dangerous criminal. I keep my cool. Dave lets her talk, then turns to me, calls me by name. Carol catches it, goes pale. You know him? She snaps. Dave explains exactly who I am, and suddenly the narrative is shifting. I lay it all out. Missing checks, mailbox stakeout, the whole deal. Carol starts screeching, clutching her purse like it's the Magna Carta. Officers ask to see inside. She refuses, no warrant, no search. Peterson tells her they'll have to detain her if she won't cooperate. Just then, my son comes out, confused and scared. Carol, desperate, accuses him of being a lookout for a gang, saying the paycheck is payment for criminal activity. That did it. I told Dave we were done. He cuffs her. She screams. A Mercedes screeches up. It's her husband, Arthur, a hotshot lawyer. He tries to throw his weight around, threatens lawsuits, but Dave doesn't budge. We tell him exactly what happened, and he's suddenly a lot less cocky. Next day, I get called into my captain's office. Arthur's filed a formal complaint, harassment, racial profiling, the works. He threatens to sue the department, claims I orchestrated the whole thing out of some vendetta. I get stuck on desk duty while internal affairs pokes around. Meanwhile, Carol's out on bail, and Arthur is running a smear campaign, letters to the HOA, a Facebook group full of coded garbage about community values. Our neighbors start icing us out. My wife gets the cold shoulder at the pool. My son stops playing basketball out front. The air around our house is thick with judgment. I start my own digging, figuring out how Carol cashed the stolen checks. Turns out, she'd been taking them to a sketchy check cashing place across town, bribing the clerk to look the other way. When I finally get a lead, a second victim, a single mom whose daughter's birthday cards kept vanishing, I realize Carol's not just a thief. She's a serial predator. That's the twist. Not just me. She's been ripping off the neighborhood for months. I bring all this to a bulldog litigator, Jenna, who comes in swinging. She files a defamation suit against Arthur and Carol, subpoenas the check-cashing place, scares up security footage and a witness. The criminal case explodes. The media gets wind. Suddenly, Carol's the villain, not the victim. Arthur, desperate, tries one last dirty trick. Plants fake evidence to make it look like my son was involved in drugs, tries to frame us. But he's sloppy. Neighborhood security cameras catch him red-handed. He gets arrested, confesses to everything. Cover-ups, smear campaigns, you name it. Carol pleads guilty, gets probation and community service. Arthur's disbarred, does jail time, loses everything. Their house goes up for sale, their friends vanish. Our neighborhood heals, people come around to apologize, my son gets his dignity back. But the victory isn't sweet, it's just relief. The system finally worked, but not before it nearly broke us. And then, just when you think it's over, Arthur gets out of jail and comes back. This time as a behind-the-scenes consultant for shady defense lawyers. He haunts my cases, undermines my work, tries to poison my reputation one loophole at a time. But in the end, he's a ghost, clinging to hate, living in the ruins of his own pride. I run into him in a drugstore one night. He tries to spit his venom, but it's empty. I tell him he lost because he chose lies over truth. I walk out free, with my family and my integrity, while he's left behind with nothing but his obsession. So what did I learn? Sometimes the biggest fights start with something as small as a stolen paycheck. Sometimes the good guys win, but it costs more than you expect. And sometimes, the only way to beat a bully is to stand together, to hold the line even when the whole world wants you to give in. That's the truth, and that's all that matters. So let me ask you, where do you stand? Was justice served, or did the system just patch up the surface? Drop your thoughts below. Let's hear what you'd do if it happened to your family.